forward to that part of the show where you get to ask the questions. But first, I want to ask you about the health of the team. That was a really physical game on Saturday, so is everybody in good shape?
Yeah, we're moving along. You know, for this early in the week, we feel good about where we are, and got some guys a little banged up, but that's just par for the course. It was a physical game. I think both sides of the ball, felt it. But when you play a rivalry game and you play, that type of environment, and for that long, and that was a full 60-minute game right there. So every lick mattered.
Nobody's taking any plays off in that one. Mike got a little banged up. He wasn't in there, as we've talked about, the hold at the end. Is he okay for this week?
Yeah, we're waiting to see. I mean, there's a protocol that's got to go through with, where he's at. But all symptoms are looking good right now.
All right, very good. Now let's get to your questions. We continue to get a lot of great questions through social media and through GoArgos.com. And we start with Susan and Daphne. Amazing win on Saturday. I don't know how many times their coach mismanaged the clock, but I loved every one of them. She goes, turning to this week, this game has trap written all over it after a big emotional win. And the fact that the Choctaws are winless, how do you hammer it home to the boys that they can't take this team lightly?
Yeah, we talked about that in our Monday meeting and, said, hey, the last winless team we played was Valdosta State. How did that work out for us? Just to remind them, and I mean, it's a great question. I think where we are in trying to build the program and, trying to establish who we are and what we're going to do, this is a game that we have to take the next step. We have to be able to move in the direction if we want to be in contention and be talked about as one of the better teams in the conference.
All right, Kennedy in Maryland is curious about the walk-on process for prospective students that may want to be part of the team. How does that work?
Yeah, it's really a long process, but we add walk-ons every year. We added a handful before the start of the season, and then we do have a walk-on tryout at the beginning of each semester where we'll have anywhere from 15 to 30 students try out for the team. So we're always evaluating, always looking to fill voids.
All right, very good. Bradley in Pensacola wants to know, who's the energy guy on this team? Who can you kind of bring in offensively that brings the energy of everybody up?
Offensively, it's probably Antoine Griffin. He's the guy who, always seems to be a little hyped. He's the guy who always seems to be getting after it. Samuel Antoine, one of our offensive linemen, he's a guy that's always smiling. He's a guy that's always getting excited. So, offensive guys tend to be a little more subdued than the defensive guys.
Okay, so who's the big energy guy defensively?
Well, defensively, I think Martez Wheeler and, Andre DeCombe. I mean, both those guys always have life, always have energy to them. They're always talking. I think Martez is talking right now somewhere. I mean, that's how much he just continues to go.
He has a good time. Even in practice, he's out there.
Most definitely.
Having a great time. All right, Nicholas in Zephyr Hills. What qualities does a great football player need to possess both physically and mentally?
Well, I think mentally is, it's a great question. I mean, you got to be disciplined and you got to really want to play the game because it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. It's a hard game. There's a lot that we ask of them. Physically, each position is different. You're always looking for something, but really, if you're big and can run fast, we'll find a place for you.
All right, very good. Be sure to follow the Argonauts on social media. Also, you can submit your questions for Coach Shinnick as well at GoArgos.com. But before we leave you, we want to give you a chance to win some tickets for Saturday's game. All you have to do is tell us who is the first official signee in Argo football history. You know the answer to that, don't you?
I do, yeah.
All right. All you have to do is send us the right answer, email it to sportsinformation@uwf.edu for a chance to win. And you've got a shot to win. Be the first one to answer correctly and get some tickets for Saturday's game against the Choctaws of Mississippi College. Should be a fun game this weekend at Blue Wahoo Stadium.
Now, we're excited to be at home again and looking forward to it. And again, we're thrilled to death to be in the position we're at. Now we got to go out and play great against Mississippi College.
And certainly some tough games coming up as well. You want to pick up a win? I'm sure you want to get out of there and keep getting guys healthy as well. So a lot to look forward to this weekend, a lot to be keyed in on.